Well, what, Gabby?
Well, you're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Gabby.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah. I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you do what you did to me.
Okay, well...
Well, what? Well, what, Gabby?
This phone call could be the phone call that could bury Shannon. It could be over for Shannon Sharpe. Oh man, like listen, Shannon Sharpe was on top of the world. He had the nightcap at any given night. 30,000 people were tuned in to hear Shannon. He was on ESPN. They had the number one sports show in the world, right? He had Club Shay Shay. He reestablished himself after being a Hall of Fame tight end in the NFL. But what I didn't know was Shannon Sharpe did this.
And offered to settle these accusations.
Yes, there was a settlement offer made by Mr. Sharpe. I will only generally say to you that it was in the tens of millions of dollars demanded by the plaintiff in return for her silence. That's under any definition commonly understood. That is blackmail. And Mr. Sharpe was willing to pay an amount in the tens of millions of dollars, but no final agreement could be reached. And we thought we were still in the middle of discussions when, without warning, the mediator, who's a retired judge, ourselves as lawyers, without any prior warning, still thinking that we were close to a final agreement, the plaintiff and her lawyer from Houston filed a case in Texas publicly accusing my client of lies and willful, harmful lies by using the rape word when it was she knows, 100% knows, and the evidence will show that she knew that this was entirely consensual. So we were of the belief on our side that we had an agreement without any warning. Not even the mediator, who is a retired judge, was given a warning out of courtesy. This case was filed and the public charges went throughout the media before we even knew that the discussions were over and the case had been filed.
Mr. Davis, last Friday, Front Office Sports reported Mr. Sharpe was in line for a $100 million deal for his podcast. On Sunday, the lawsuit was filed. Is there a timing issue here?
This is one of those two facts line up one after the other where everyone can draw their own reasonable inference. So I have a reasonable inference. It's my reasonable inference. Others might disagree that they're very related, that this plaintiff was looking for money. What she does on OnlyFans was for money in role-playing and virtual fantasy with men who pay her. At the end of the relationship, it's not known yet, but it is a fact that the plaintiff started to charge Mr. Sharpe money, so the relationship became transactional. This is who she is by the facts. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just describing two facts, that she charged him money or asked for money. She's on OnlyFans and charges people money to do role-playing, and that for that reason, I'm going to let the inference be decided by everybody that her knowledge that Mr. Sharpe was about to receive a very lucrative contract based upon his talent and his abilities and he's extremely capable on television and very knowledgeable, not only as a great former professional athlete, but I believe as a very credible and likable television presentation, that he has great value in his podcast and his positions on television. She knew that, took advantage of it, and I have described this in my opinion, and it's my opinion only, that this is classic definition of blackmail, especially when you know the party you're blackmailing is about to be making a lot of money. In my opinion, that gives the greatest leverage to a blackmailer, and I believe there's a reasonable inference that one led to the other. Others might disagree. I'm sure Mr. Busby would make his own argument that this is not blackmail and that this is reasonable and that there's nothing to do with Mr. Sharpe's sudden announcement by somebody else, not by him, about a lucrative contract, had nothing to do with the plaintiff suddenly deciding to break off negotiation after she was offered tens of millions of dollars and suddenly to file a lawsuit. And why she did that and why her lawyer did that is up to them to explain.
The next question is coming from Edward Lewis from TMZ. I just want to be clear, Mr. Sharpe did make his accuser an offer in the tens of millions of dollars range, correct?
In the multiple of 10. That's all I'm willing to say at this point. But yes, the answer is yes, in multiples of 10 million, more than 10 million. I'd like to condition my last answer as I was not in the room for the mediation effort. It is possible it is only 10 million as the last offer. So I'll at least say at least 10 million, subject to my confirming whether there were any numbers exchanged higher than 10 million. So let me correct what I said, that it's at least a $10 million offer that had been made and that they walked away.
So Shannon, so now we found out that Shannon offered this woman $10 million. $10 million. Not 10 bands, 10 million. Right? Now, this woman, we clearly can see that this woman was into some type of BDS, whatever that's called, BDSM, a lot of freaky deaky stuff, but so was Shannon. So what might have started out as a role play at some point got serious, because we saw the text messages where she was saying all kinds of salacious stuff that she wanted done to her by Shannon. We seen those things. We saw Shannon responding. But then we also saw her setting Shannon up on the phone, baiting Shannon into saying some crazy stuff, right? Now, Shannon is saying that was role play. Now, at some point, what I think happened was they started off having some fun. She wanted some money. Shannon wasn't giving her the money. But by this time, she had let Shannon do all kinds of stuff to her body. And Shannon didn't want to pay her. And at some point, he tried to cut her off. And when he tried to cut her off, that's when she said, you know what? I got you. I'm going to get you. Right? Because there was some new text messages that also came out where she said, but I cried when you left because I begged you to put a condom on and not put it in my rear, right? And not shove it in my rear. You didn't listen. I don't care what our history is. I don't care what our history is. No means no. No means no, Shannon, right? And then she said, I don't know how to process. She said, I don't know how to process this. Shannon said, can I call you later? Right? Man, listen, this thing gets it gets real crazy, right? Shannon is in some real trouble, right? But then you had somebody post Shannon Sharpe is 50, almost 60, something years old, screwing a teenager. Men are disgusting. That's yuck. You're not embarrassed. Well, they kill me when they say men are disgusting. I probably wonder if that's somebody of that other community, right? Trying to take a dig at just all men because of something that Shannon Sharpe is doing, right? Where women are doing this all day too, right? So are women disgusting? Because women deal with these young guys as well. But this thing gets really crazy, man, because he's on that phone, and it don't sound good for him. It don't sound good for Shannon at all. Then you got the lawyer, right? The lawyer saying that there was a settlement made. Now, this is the thing, right? You can make a settlement, but you can make a settlement if you're guilty of something, or you can make a settlement, if you just want this to go away because you got bigger fish to fry. But there was, we read this before where statement by Lanny J. Davis, counsel to Shannon Sharpe, where she said, I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and blank me with it while you blank me. Right? That was Gabrielle Zagunya in a text message October 7, 2023. I know you missed this big juicy blank. $25K for each cheat. Gabrielle Zagunya in a text message to Shannon Sharpe. The lawsuit filed by Gabrielle Zagunya is orchestrated by her attorney Tony Buzzy in a blatant attempt. Basically, she's trying to shake him down, right? Basically, trying to shake him down. And this is what happens when you're dumb. Shannon Sharpe ain't that bright, right? And like I said, he was about to sign a $100 million podcast deal. That's about to go away. He's about to get kicked off the ESPN. Because ESPN can't have him on TV representing their club or their brand when he has these kind of allegations hanging over his head. That's not going to work either. So Shannon is in trouble, right? But there's now he's offered $10 million. There's another video. There's another audio that's come out. There's more text messages. It's just a whole bunch of stuff going on, man. And Shannon is in trouble, man. You got sodomy. You got all kinds of stuff going on around here. And she was okay with it, but he didn't put on a condom. He just, he just wanted to ride the Hershey Highway and just run up in that joint. So I don't know. He in trouble, man. I'm gonna cut this video short here, man. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.